This is NDTV. And you're watching Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, Tamil Nadu is just a day away from voting for a new government. The no-holds-barred campaigning has come to a close, but the Election Commission is continuing to watch with a hawk-eye. After all, he said, our poll-bound state is the biggest challenge. Very good evening, I'm Divya, and joining me is our senior correspondent, Peer Mohammed. Well, preparations for the elections are underway. While the excitement is up for a certain section, the poorer prison inmates are not really in favour of voting. Salim joins me for details on the prisoners bailing out of voting. All that and much more is coming up on our primetime bulletin, but first the headlines now. Anna Hazare hits out at Kapil Sibal, says he should quit if he doesn't believe in the Lokpal bill, but Sibal explains his comments. Sibal announces a new spectrum policy, proposes regular audits of telecom companies in a bid to bring in transparency. In a snap to the centre, the Supreme Court appoints Uday Lalit as public prosecutor in the 2G cases. 4 people are arrested after a class 10 student is raped twice in a day, first by a relative and then gang raped in a car. After Kerala Chief Minister calls Rahul Gandhi an Amul baby, Pranab Mukherjee hits back. New and powerful aftershock has hit northeast Japan, the epicenter of 7.1 magnitude quake in Fukushima Prefecture. Well, a campaign marked by personal attacks by both the leaders of the ruling and the opposition parties for the April 13th polls to the 234-member Tamil Nadu Assembly has come to an end this evening. The fate of all the candidates, including Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi and his arch-rival and AIADMK Supremo Jayalalitha, will be decided on Wednesday. Complaints of personal attacks by the rival party leaders against each other to the Election Commission forced it to send notices to these leaders seeking explanations. Well, the Election Commission has also come out with a strict rule book to be followed for the polls close ahead. All political parties, functionaries and workers have been brought from outside the constituency and not voters of the region have been asked to leave by 5 this evening. The Commission would continue its searches at marriage and community halls as well as lodges to look out for outsiders who have been accommodated there. Checkposts are being set up at constituency borders to track vehicle movement. While the vehicle permits for candidates will cease to be valid by this evening, only 3 vehicles will be allowed on the day of polling, one for the contender, the polling agent, and another for the party workers. Meanwhile, the Election Commission has also ensured voting rights of those voters who have wrong information or details on their voting slips. The EC says even if the voter slip or voter's ID card has a wrong photograph or wrong particulars, the voter will be allowed to vote. This after mismatch of photos in voter slips and voter IDs have been brought to the EC's notice. And with less than 48 hours before Tamil Nadu goes to polls and election campaigning coming to a close, the Election Commission has come out with another stern warning against money distribution and says this will be a voter-friendly election.
The Election Commission is closely watching this money distribution. And need warning appo inquiry and it keeps on going. Commission can stop election, can countermand election after election also. Election mudi japram countermand panna. If a lot of malpractice is seen, and commission I have instructions is closely watching constituencies this malpractice takes place, they can take any action. So total so far cash seized is 33 crores 11 lakhs.
And for more on this, our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed now joins us live. Well, Peer, the overall picture we see as of now is that it is going to be a fairly voter-friendly elections.
Yes, Divya, this is going to be a voter-friendly election. The disabled won't have to wait in the queue this time, and they will be allowed free entry. They can go straight and vote. They won't be asked to wait. That is one thing. And the senior citizens will have a separate queue in these elections. Also, the disabled will have a ramp, and it will be the Braille system is also there for the visually challenged. Also, the voters will be, if their voter IDs or the voter slips are found to have incorrect information or wrong picture, they can still go and vote. And also, if a bogus vote is cast in the name of one voter, they can go and ask for the what they call tendered votes. They can go and ask for their right to vote, and they will be allowed to vote in a ballot paper, and that will be taken into consideration at the time of counting. On the one hand, that is happening. On the other hand, the EC is trying to tackle the money power. As Praveen Kumar rightly said, they are still deducting money, cash flow in several constituencies across the state. They have come out with another warning that they would be stopping the elections or countermand the elections after the elections are over if they find a lot of malpractices happening. And he has also given the figures of the cash seizures so far. He has said overall 40 lakh worth both cash and non-cash were seized so far since the model code of conduct came into force on March 1st, and the cash alone was 33.11 crore, and the valuables including dhotis, saris and liquor is worth 12.58 crore. That is the detail given out. And also the Chief Election Commissioner Qureshi said it is going to be very challenging in Tamil Nadu because of the high use of money power, and that is very clear from the statement made by the CEO today.
Right, P. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with all those details there. Meanwhile, today the DMK's Chief Karunanidhi stuck to his constituency and hometown Thiruvarur and ended his campaign there, while his son Deputy Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also rounded off his campaign at his own constituency Kolattur. Chief Minister has been campaigning at Thiruvarur for the last 2 days at various points of the region. Stalin, who campaigned for Hassan Jinnah at the Thousand Lights constituency, had earlier said that if Jinnah wins, the region would have both Jinnah and him as the two MLAs.
இந்த தேர்தலிலே நான் அல்ல, திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம் வெற்றி பெற்றால் நாங்கள் மத்தியிலே இருக்கின்ற அரசை மீண்டும் மீண்டும் வலியுறுத்தி சேது சமுத்திர திட்டம் மறுபடியும் தொடங்கப்பட வேண்டும் என்று கேட்போம்.
And in what appears that not all prisoners are ready to vote in this election. In fact, only 3 out of 150 prisoners currently under the preventive custody in Pural are planning to exercise their franchise. The remaining 147 detainees have decided not to vote. The reason is because they have to cast their vote using postal ballot, and they are not too sure if in the process their identity would remain a secret. Apart from these 150 prisoners detained under the Gundas Act, the Pural prison also houses around 3,000 remand and convict prisoners. However, none of them can exercise their franchise since the Representation of the People Act, which lays down the rules and regulations for elections, prevents prisoners from casting their votes. And for more details on this, crime reporter Salim now joins us live. Well, Salim, according to reports here, prisoners are really not confident of these postal ballots, and you in fact spoke to Praveen Kumar, the CEO. So did he assure that their identity would be protected?
The Chief Electoral Officer clarified to Ndtv-Hindu. He says that the prisoner's identity will not be revealed. The reason, when a prisoner decides to vote, he will be provided with the postal ballot system. There will be 2 forms, one self-declaration form and the ballot paper. Now, these 2 papers will be kept in a sealed cover and will be submitted to the concerned returning officers. Now, these returning officers will open the sealed cover and will separate the self-declaration form from the ballot paper. Now, in this manner, the Chief Electoral Officer says that the identity will be protected. Without the help of the returning officer, no one can access the data. Divya?
Thanks Thanks very much indeed for joining us with those details. And moving on, former Telecom Minister A. Raja's brother, A. Kaliya Perumal, was today arrested and later let out on bail for violating the Model Code of Conduct. Kaliya Perumal had allegedly distributed calendars to voters on the 8th of April. According to PTI reports, Kaliya Perumal, a businessman, has been slapped with cases under various sections of IPC, including bribery and violation of Representation of People's Act. The Perambalur police say that they also seized some calendars and diaries from his possession. While campaigning in the state is over, the loudspeakers have fallen silent. Political leaders can rest their bruised vocal cords now after days of hectic canvassing, and party workers can get back to their homes and join the state in waiting for Wednesday to arrive. But there is one section which is feeling cheerless about certain restrictions. Lalit Jude brings you the story.
This young man is not exactly raising a toast. The reason? Tasmak shops, the liquor outlets in the state, will not be open on April 13th, the day of the assembly polls, which is also a holiday.
இப்போ இந்த எலெக்ஷன் டயத்தில் வந்து 2 நாள் கடை மூட போகிறாங்க. அண்ணன் குடிக்கிறவங்க வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்படுறோம் அப்படின்னால அவங்க வந்து மூட வேண்டிய தேவையில்லை. அந்த குடிக்கிறவங்களுக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப கஷ்டமாக இருக்குது.
More seasoned customers have already made a beeline to Tasmak shops to stockpile their favorite brands.
காலைல 10 மணிக்கு கடை திறங்க சார், எனக்கு 5 மணிக்கு அடைக்க சொல்லிடுறாங்க. 5 மணிக்கு அடைச்சிரும். கஸ்டமருக்கு ஒரு ஆஃப், அதில் ஒரு குவார்ட்டர் அந்த மாதிரி தான் கொடுக்குறோம். பல்காக யாருக்கும் கொடுக்கறது கிடையாது, கேட்டால் கூட தரதில்லை.
The fizz has also gone out for those banking on the black market to tap for supplies. The Corporation Commissioner, who is also the District Election Officer, says special teams would be keeping an eye out for such measures.
As per Election Commission's instruction, all the liquor shops in the town are closed till 13th midnight. That is, only on 14th morning it can reopen. So if anybody is found to be selling liquor either in black market or behind the doors, then a very severe action will be taken against those people.
Liquor shops downing their shutters on election day is not a new norm. However, with the EC emerging as more vigilant on all fronts, many voters may end up saying cheers to the watchdog. In Chennai with Lalit Jude, Divya Kumar for Ndtv-Hindu.
This is Ndtv-Hindu's headlines now. Well, there are more cracks within the Lokpal Bill Committee. Find out why when we come back.